Hey there, YouTube. I know it's been a minute. Anywho, I'm back, but I'm not doing an astrology video. Sorry. This is actually a DIY video because I just haven't really been feeling astrology lately. So when I feel like it, I'll be back on it. But in other news, so today I'm going to be making a chair cover for my and I have hardwood floors that I'm really not feeling, so I am going to be getting carpet installed. So in the meantime, I don't want to have my new furniture delivered yet. So I have this old chair that I had that my kids had messed up. I mean, in any old possible kind of way, they messed up my chair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slip cover to go over my chair. Okay, guys, so here is my material that I ended up picking for my chair. I actually wanted to keep like the gray scheme going, okay? So I have 2.5 yards of this textured fabric. You do want to pre-wash your fabric if you plan on, I'm gonna have a slip cover that can come on and off, so you want to pre-wash it to make sure that it fits to measurement. So I'm just going to go ahead, for starters, and lay it over the chair. And then this is like going to be like a super easy thing. So I am literally just going to cut out the panels. And I'm going to cut them out in sections. So I'm going to have my front panel, the back of my chair panel, and the 2 side panels. So we are coming over to get my supplies. Okay, so got my scissors and my push pins, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out my pattern. So right here, you see how I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a seam allowance because I have a lot of leeway in the back. So I have a lot of room in there to play with. So it's gonna be my front, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm trying to give myself about 1 inch of allowance. So I'm gonna go ahead and go and just cut it. And you just wanna cut around the chair, and like I said, I'm giving myself a 1 inch allowance. And you just want to go ahead and cut up. And keep in mind, if you have material that is like patterned, you want to make sure that you're cutting in the direction of your pattern. So just cutting along the back. And I'm going to come back to the front and do what I did on this side, giving yourself 1 inch for seam allowance. Go ahead, cut up. Like I said, I'm not really doing too fine measurements. I'm literally just eyeballing. So have my first pattern piece. So this right here is going to be the front. So it's going to be the front. I got about 1 inch room. And then let me just show you guys the back. It's right there. See my back. Oh, My chair. Oh no. What's going on? Are you guys kidding me? No way. Can't be. I think my leg on my chair. Yep, this leg is definitely out of place. Well, okay. So, yep, I'm gonna have to. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to get some wood glue for that. So in the meantime, boy, can't believe this chair got the nerve to be trying to. Oh, okay. No, yeah, that's it. Okay. So your side pieces are in essence already going to be on the side. See there? But so I'm going to go ahead, and this is when your pins will come into play. I'm going to pin this so it doesn't fall on my head while I'm trying to cut it. So I'm just going to take a couple of pins and go ahead and pin this together. Okay, so it's like it's back together, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and now I'm going to cut off the back. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Now see my back is really low. I mean, my back is like about a foot from the floor. So I'm just gonna feel the back and I'm gonna cut. Don't be afraid to cut, okay? If you want, you can take like an old sheet and practice your pattern first and then cut those pieces. Or you could just be like me and dare to go for it. I'm a go for it kind of girl. So, here we are. And look at that. And then you see this? I have about 1 inch of seam allowance. So, we'll come over here to the other side. Let's put that down. Let's see. Okay, where they come. So here, right here is my corner. So I'm just gonna right there. Gonna go eyeball it over, and I'm gonna cut. Be careful not to let the material scrunch up like my material just did. It's scrunched up, so yeah, you wanna make sure you're not doing that, but you wanna go ahead and make sure that you still are going towards the top. And guess what? Bam! I got the top down back. So here, I have a lot of space, right? And I actually want it to hang down a little bit. I'm gonna have a seam, so I'm gonna come down about here. It's about 1.5 inches down the back. Giving myself enough for seam allowance to even it out when I sew it. So there's that. So now I have my back panel. Mind you, I pinned it at the top, so it's still one piece for now. And you don't have to worry about the rough edge because I gave myself enough to be able to do what I need to do later on with that. So now I want to come over here to the side. I don't know how this chair is made. It scares me, but it's actually sturdy, so I don't know. Okay, so now As you can see, I'm here ready to make this is my scrap from the back of the chair. So I'm here ready to make my side panel, and I'm actually going to make these into 2 pieces. 1, 2, 2. So, once again, I guess we could go start here first, right? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin it at the top. I'm going to pin it at the top. Okay, just so it doesn't move on me, girl. I'm going to come down, giving myself that 1-inch seam allowance down here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut across. Like I said, don't be afraid to cut. Okay, don't be afraid to cut. Okay. Make sure you don't cut your back piece. Just eyeballing it. I mean, you know, if you're into measurements and things, I see I have a little, well, I still had some leeway at the top, so that'll be fine. And I had a little, so I'll have a little leeway with that, so that'll be fine. So, my other piece, I'm gonna go ahead and make my side piece. Now, I did make this big because, of course, you don't want to use the fray end in your slip cover, so that's going to get cut away as well. So now I'm coming over here to my side panel. So you're going to be cutting away your fray. So don't include that in your seam allowance. Don't include the fraying in your seam allowance because you're going to cut that away. So I'm going to pin again into the chair to keep it in place, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut, giving myself an allowance on this side as well. Just going to cut straight down. That's going to be my scrap piece. This is going to be my side. So, I'm going to cut off the extra right here in the front. Okay? My salvage piece. So that's my panel, my side panel. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut the other side. Okay, voila. So I definitely have enough to make a little pillow to match my chair. I'm excited about that. And now I have my pattern for the chair. So now the next step is to actually turn the pieces inside out, and then we'll go on to sewing. So I'll come back to you guys with the chair inside out. The fabric will be inside out when I come back, okay? Okay, so here we have, see, there's my gray. That's the side I want to keep. This is my inside pattern. I wish I was like fancy enough to make it like a reversible cover. That would be so awesome, but I ain't gonna do all that. So I'm just coming back right now to show you that I took it inside out, and I went ahead and pinned where I'm gonna have where I'm gonna sew at. So I pinned, and all this excess I'm gonna trim before I sew it down. So it's pinned, it's all pinned into a pattern, and I actually left the other side unpinned. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch me how I pin. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I made this other side of the pattern. So I have my pieces, I have my bottom piece here. So basically, what you want to do is I want my rough, remember we're gonna be cutting this so it doesn't even count as our seam allowance, right? So this piece is gonna be my side panel piece, so, okay, so I'm gonna be working right to left. So I'm gonna start like this, just put it together, right? And then I'm going to start pinning together where I'm gonna sew. So you will have access material. Make sure when you're pinning, make sure it's not puckering, because you want it to have a little bit of space, but you don't want it to pucker, because it won't lay flat, right? So once you sew it together, so make sure it's not puckering. Make sure that you're tightening your corners as necessary, and tucking as well, because you want to make sure this crease is tucked in, right? So you're going to be, okay, so you want to make sure you tuck. See, so this is why we were glad that we gave ourselves a seam allowance, because right here is definitely, well, I cut it kind of short right here. I cut it short, and so since I have so much space down there, guess what? Don't be afraid to repin. We're going to let that go, and we're going to bring it up some, like that much overhang, and I still have plenty of space at the bottom. So now I feel comfortable to, and you want to make sure you have, see this, I don't want it to be too tight. See how I still have some seam allowance right there? So now I'm going to go ahead and start repinning. I feel much more comfortable with this extra at the top, and I still have plenty of extra at the bottom. So I'm going to start back with, I said I was gonna work right to left, but it looks like I'm kind of just doing whatever, but I'm gonna start on the right side. So you're gonna for obvious reasons, you know, you can't pin the corner because of the chair, because these are straight pins and they only go in a straight direction. So I'm gonna pin right to left. I'm pinning right to left. Watch out for that pucker, because it will try to gather on you, because it's gathering on me. So you wanna, if you have to repinch the corners, each pin, it's better to repinch and make sure that you're sewing it right versus trying to rush through it and then it ends up having a pucker when you get to your sewing machine. So we're just gonna go ahead and pin these two together, like so, okay? This is gonna be there, right? Like I said, there's no, you can't pin the corners, these are straight pins. So, if you have like a fabric clip, then obviously you could clip the fabric together, but in this case of me right now, I'm going to skip the corner and worry about that when I get to the sewing machine. I still have my allowance over here. So I'm making sure my corners are tucked, and I'm gonna go ahead and pin the front panel to the side bottom panel, like so. So we're gonna go ahead and pin that together, okay, right? Now, we want to, like I said, if you have a patterned material fabric, right, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's lining up straight, because whatever access we have, you can cut. I'm gonna just turn this just a little bit for my eye, okay, because it was starting to pucker on me. So now see how right here, I don't have hardly any room, but I have plenty of room back here. So like I said, don't be afraid to take that pin off and just repin. I'd rather be short back here. I can possibly repin the back, but I want the part that people are definitely gonna see when they first see the chair to have enough room. So I'm just gonna pull remember how I said I had it at the box at the top, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull my box over, and now I have a lot more seam allowance. So I'm gonna go ahead and repin that top. So now we're gonna go ahead and, so these are 4 corners that are coming together. We're not worrying about them. We're just gonna go ahead and continue to put our pieces together. Okay, so we're working top to bottom to put our pieces together. Right, so give yourself a little bit of slack. Be careful not to stick yourself. I'm actually proud of myself. I have not stuck myself this whole project so far. So hopefully we can get through making this chair cover without a finger prick, okay? So now we have the front pin, the front, so we have our side, top, side bottom, top, side top, side back. And we have it, see, look at that right there. We have our heading, and we can go ahead and cut some of this excess off just to get it out of our way, really, so we can see what we're working with. Oh, look, I'm loving how this is looking. And I still have, I cut it kind of close down here. As you can see, I have about 1 inch versus over here where I have 2 inches of slack. I have about 1 inch, but luckily it's only this little quadrant, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay, so now I'm pulling. I don't want it to be too tight in the back, so I'm definitely gonna give myself some space back here so I can be able to comfortably take it off and put it on. My back does not have to be perfect, okay? So now I'm gonna work from top to bottom to just pin this together. Let's see how this is gonna turn out, guys, because I want it turned inside out just to see, okay? You know how I am. I have to see if I know if I can do this or not, and to see what any changes that I might need to make. See, look how tight this is, right? It's really tight coming off. So I'm gonna have to move back these pins. Okay, so I can't pull it off back here, so I'm gonna give some slack to this back section, but I'm not gonna even take those pins out. I'm literally just gonna move over maybe 1/2 inch. Yeah, I have 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch and repin. I can with the pinning so that I can have slack to take the cover off. So I'm getting as close. I'm about 1/2 inch from, here, let me turn the chair around for you guys, as a matter of fact. Oh, I guess who just stuck herself. Okay. So I am going right here. And I'm just coming, so I'm 1/2 inch from the edges, and that's it. I can't go over anymore because I need to have allowance at the sewing machine as well. So let's cross our fingers because I don't have any more room now. But good thing I gave myself so much room in the beginning. And that's why you want to go ahead and allow for these are the things you want to, these are the things that you can't foresee. But you can always give yourself enough space for just in case. You always want to give yourself enough space for the just in case. So I am literally 1/2 inch from the edge. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go ahead and pull my hair out. So, hopefully I won't have to pull my hair out. Okay, so let's go ahead and see with me moving all the way to the end of the chair. Yes, okay, wait. Oh, let me see. Uh-oh. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Okay. Great. So I went to the front and pulled up. Look at that, you guys. I did it. So now you want to gently turn it inside out just to see what you're working with, because you don't want to stick yourself with any pins. That would not be nice. There's a ton of pins in here. So we're going to ever so gently slide. Now that we have our fabric right side out, right? We're going to go ahead and slide it onto the chair. I mean, now keep in mind, I'm not a professional. You know, I like to do stuff around the house. So this is me. And this is me. This is what I do for fun. Ooh, I like the way this is looking, you guys. Be careful because I just stuck myself again. So there's my back. But look at this, you guys. Look at this chair. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. I am excited. Let me see. Oh, I can't wait to sew this together. So I'm gonna take it off the chair now and head over to my sewing machine. Okay, you guys, so I'm here at the sewing machine. Just finishing up sewing the sewing part. I forgot to talk about the bottom of the chair, which would be pinning the seam evenly around the bottom of the chair so that you can't see the chair. So once I finish sewing this together, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to pin the bottom of. So I finished sewing the the cover together. So now I'll have to pin the bottom ends. And I'll have to press it out and everything, but it's coming along good. So I'm gonna have to pin the bottom. I'm gonna turn it back inside out and pin the bottom ends and then press them and sew the bottom. But it's really coming along good. I'm so excited. So I'll come back to you guys once I turn it inside out and press and pin the. So I just wanted to show you guys how I pinned my inseams, the bottom. Just kind of relaxedly folded them in and pinned them. So I'm gonna go ahead and press with the iron, and I'm done. It took me all day, but I got my little chair cover finished. I think I did pretty good. It's my first time ever making a slip cover, and I am excited with the result. So yeah, thank you guys for watching me work on my project. Me and my chair, we're chilling, and I'll see you later, YouTube. Bye.